folks, today we're just outside Luss and we're going to be walking up a Quarry Path, so let's go, come with us, have an adventure.
Please close and bolt the gate. That makes sense.
And again, as we always say, people, this is a countryside path, so please leave it as you find it. If you have a dog, make sure your dog stays in the leads. Clean a path for yourself, take any rubbish you have home, and enjoy.
Be careful.
Behind me, there's a lovely stream, and look how clear the water is. Can you see that? Isn't that just beautiful?
Oh. Well, we never got it on video earlier, but there was actually a little, like a wooden plaque type of thing stuck to one of the trees, and there was a quote etched into it which said, "Remember that you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." But anyhow, on the Unicorn.
The water is extremely clear, and we think that's because of the slate that is there that will filter it, which gives it that lovely clear colour that you can see. This being a quarry path is what you would expect to find in the stream, is slate.
The bear and the unicorn have swapped. And we've got the bear up front and the unicorn behind the camera.
Oh.
That's a wee bit chilly. Wee tiny bit chilly.
We've just found these benches, and the bear and the yak are not going to sit down. I don't think they're going to sit down because it'd be very cold, because they're covered in ice, and as Bear's already mentioned today, it's very chilly. Wee robins.
Ah, wee robins.
Robin.
I fancy a haggis and chips for lunch, by the way.
Yeah, the bear's been saying that for a while, pretty much since we got here. He said, "You know what, I just had a craving for haggis and chips." And I'm thinking, Bear, you're supposed to eat honey and salmon, not haggis and chips.
Anyway, talking about haggis, what's in a haggis, Yak?
Well, it's awful, but not to say it's awful as in it's awful, because haggis is actually really quite nice. Awful as in OFFAL. How about that? For people that are not from Scotland, you can figure that out.
What's the ingredients?
Well, I mean, it depends on the haggis. And it also depends on what the casing of the haggis is. Traditional haggis is made with a sheep's stomachs as the casing.
Lungs.
Lungs, yeah, so usually they've got lungs, they've got like sometimes liver, sometimes they've got kidney even. I've known of haggis with kidney.
Grains.
They use all of the spare organs and grains and spices basically to make haggis
There we go.
Stick it in a sheep's stomach.
of various animals.
Yum yum.
Which is why it might be considered awful as an AWFUL by some.
It's also
not
got
awful.
it's also got certain spices in it too.
It's tasty.
Just behind me there, it looks like this is maybe where the milk used to be. and it used to have a big mill wheel. Anyway, we're going to take a closer look at this.
Too bad it's lacking a mill wheel.
It is.
Oh, what's this? Now the yak's behind the camera and the unicorn and the bear are up front. What's this strange turn of events?
Camera yak.
Camera yak. Camera yak while the bear carries the sack.
Does that mean then that we've all changed names? I'm a yak.
I don't
Carrying
know.
things. That would mean you're bear, because you've got the camera, and unicorn's still unicorn.
Oh well, nothing changed.
The thing is, we aren't sure. This might just have been a bit of a weir.
Close enough.
Yeah.
How many of you are googling what a weir is right now?
Yeah. Anyway, talking of weirs, we are going to move on. How's that for fun? And it says danger here. Do not climb over barrier. We've been down there, and again, it's up to yourself. It's not very high to sort of like just do a wee scramble down.
Depends on your sense of adventure, it's personal.
Yeah. We've come to a fork in the road, and there's a path trail up to the left. We suggest that you don't take that one unless you've already paid for the ferry trail. Take the path to the right, which will take you up the rest of the Quarry Path.
Quarry Path, probably, no?
I heard ducks.
Ducks in this weather?
Where are they meant to go? Fly south for the winter?
Well, no, but they usually go to sleep.
Ah, right.
I mean, you still see ducks, but you don't see as many ducks because they'll keep them warm and cosy. Like most people, cooped up inside with the heating on. Although I suppose that'll be rare these days.
Yeah. I was thinking the thing about Luss, you're away outside the area and you want to come up here. If you're, again, back in Balloch and you're in a B&B or a hotel or whatever, or even anywhere nearby, you want to come into Luss, jump the bus. There's plenty of buses come along here. Plenty of buses go all the way up the whole length of the loch. That is Loch Lomond.
Someone hide that fairy house from Nurse Joy. You know who Nurse Joy is?
Well, at least it won't go on fire. No need to call out Fireman Sam.
Yeah.
But with that said, we love Nurse Joy and Fireman Sam, don't we? We do. Oh yeah,
And then we've got more forks in the road. One going over a strange little bridge and one going that way. I would think it's over the bridge.
it is over the bridge. So you take the right here and you go over the bridge, because if you go to the left, you're going back onto the paid ferry trail.
Which is apparently a lot more of than I thought.
Yeah. Don't feed the troll.
Don't feed the trolls, as we don't want them to grow. You'll have to eat children.
Munch, munch.
So keep your children close at all times.
That's alright. The yak isn't a child anymore, he's a young adult.
And I don't know if the trolls would like yaks. You could probably a yak.
I don't know. Yaks are quite large.
Yaks are large. You probably would smash a troll.
Smack a troll a day. It looks like, I think it just went green because it's frozen.
Probably.
And maybe you have got some kind of algae growing down there as well. It looks like it could be, because there's lots of green algae along the sides of this little burn.
Anyone go for a swim?
And it goes all the way down into Loch Lomond. If anybody's wondering, anybody want a swim? Not a chance.
Well,
Hell no.
the thing is,
I
the
don't
thing
think-
is, the thing is that under the ice, the water will be warmer than it is. on
Yeah.
top, so.
I'm actually wondering if even the naked water nymphs that we saw would go in there for a swim. Or a paddle.
I was just wondering that myself there. Would the naked water nymphs enjoy this?
That looks like prime naked water nymph habitat.
Right, we may as well actually tell you about the naked water nymphs. We never actually mentioned what they did, although we did say they were in swimming. But they were actually naked,
They were literally naked water
Very
nymphs.
naked.
and we were quite shocked.
Yes.
If you're wondering what a naked water nymph looks like, sorry, but we'll just leave that to your imagination.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way:
It traumatised the unicorn.
let's put it this way: one was wearing a thong. Yeah, how does that? That should fire your imagination up.
The other was wearing nothing.
And all I saw was this naked water nymph bottom in my face.
The unicorn will never be the same. She always talks about it.
Right. I think the unicorn wants to tell you something.
I think if you see beside me, you'll see this hill. It's covered in slate, which is why this is a quarry path, because this was a slate quarry. And in the village, in our previous videos, as you may have seen, there are a row of cottages that were built essentially for the workers and used. The roofs were made from slate from this quarry. So the workers lived there, and then they used the slate from this quarry to send to Glasgow in the 17th century for all of the new tenements that were being built there to slate their roofs as well. So yeah, that is basically what this path is. Quarry Path, slate quarry, 17th century, all sent to Glasgow.
I don't think you're going to see the scrapped cake, but last time the unicorn was like an over-emotive animatronic. She must have listened in school when the teachers taught her how to make a presentation like this. As
Yeah.
they do.
What we don't know, and we've never ever found out, is if there's a bigger section of quarry. A lot of the quarry might have been covered in by vegetation growing on it. We don't know if there's another bit further up that we've not discovered yet, but you've had the story anyway, so there you go. Oh, easy. Yak dance. Where's the dog?
Unicorn will come to me again.
That unicorn dump from the yak dance.
Right, okay, on you go. On you go. Just had to do the wee dance there as I was doing a wee bit of scenery. Just had to jump into the scene.
The first thing you see is... Oh, chilly.
When you reach this point, there's another turn off to the right. Again, we think that's part of the fairy trail. But if you're just on the Quarry Path, straight ahead.
Seems to be the case so far.
Oh look, three walking wanderers, shadows.
Oh yeah.
I was just about to cue the shadows tune there.
Oh, that wouldn't be good. So anyway, have teachers figured out the definition of copyright yet?
Teachers?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Sure, when the Yak was in school, people always used to talk about copyright.
Segue.
And how,
And how?
well yeah, and how using literally anything from anyone without permission was violating the copyright law, but it's not, because if you're not using it for profit, how's it copyright?
Well, with a lot of things that are copyrighted, a certain amount of it is allowed for education purposes.
Exactly. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Right, when you get here, there's something over there to the left.
The middle.
Is the right left and the left right?
I don't know.
Well, I was actually going to talk about on the right when I panned left.
Oh well.
Right, so we just did a couple of, they looked like Alsatians, but
They were wolf dogs.
yeah, wolf dogs. Really big, lovely, but a couple of guys with them and we decided not to film them. Anyway, path splits straight and over to the left here, there's something else which we're just going to go and investigate.
Yeah, high precipice. It's a viewpoint.
Well, this is new to us. Don't recall seeing this before. Yes, it's a little viewpoint. It's quite nice. Unfortunately, in the summer and sort of like late spring, you're not going to see much of that down there because all the leaves will be back on the trees again.
Unless you're brave enough to go down that hill.
Yeah, well, you could always walk down that little bit of path there.
Slide.
On
your
slide.
butt.
It looks as if there's kind of, it's not real steps, but it looks as if it's been used quite often, so there's kind of steps down there. Yeah, if you're brave enough. I'm sure a lot of people would go down. We're not going to go down there today.
Hill. Snow.
And up here, just through the trees, we've got some snow in the mountains.
Tampons.
Yeah.
I believe. There's no way. Where's the other E? Oh, there it is.
I believe.
It's down there.
Yeah.
I believe.
I think you could even climb the fence here and walk down this section,
Probably.
but still be very careful. And it looks like right ahead, dead centre, it looks like there's been a flow of water down there, but for some reason it's not flowing today. Maybe it's frozen higher up and it's diverted it, who knows. I believe. Oh yeah. Somebody's put I believe on the trees.
Probably believe in fairies or something. Luss is quite big about its fairy folklore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Could
A
see
bit-
the end of it, but yeah.
A bit like, what do you call it? The fairy now?
Something like that.
Aye, fairy now up in Aberfoyle.
Aye, we did it before.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. We're not very talkative today. Us? All of us, we don't seem to be very talkative for some reason.
It's cold.
Yeah, you can just come back out of there the way you came, or go to the left, down to that other wee section we showed you, and then turn around and straight back up again.
You can do what the yak did and forget where you were. It's very disorienting.
Unicorn,
Yes.
anything to say?
No.
That was a unicorn noise and a half.
Okay. Again, we've come to a junction. You go to the right, takes you down some more of the ferry trail, or you go out the gate dead ahead. There is a wee bit of a car park. There used to be. It doesn't look as if they're letting anybody park here anymore. They've put lots of big boulders up. Right ahead, up towards the gate there's another gate. I think there's maybe a stile up there, and there's a path that goes all the way up onto the mountain up there. A lot of people used to climb up there. I wonder how many go up there now. Probably even less because of, well, look around.
Yes, because of that. I think I chanced it with the ferry though.
So the best bet is to cross the road, and as I said, go up that way and through the gate. You can climb up the hills, which is a good climb. I can't remember what the mountain's called. If you're in the mood for a hike. And straight ahead here after you've crossed on. And this takes you over the bridge into Luss. Aye, up there's Glen Luss.
Through that gate there.
No, behind us, up the road. We crossed over the road that takes us to Glen Luss. Glen Luss.
We're getting an absolute gold mine of blooper footage, folks.
Anyway.
25 likes to release the blooper footage.
You can go up the path here, start off there. Takes you into the exact same field and it's Bendu. 642 metres. Wee word of warning if you've never been up there. If you go up there and it's been raining 2 or 3 days before or whatever, be very careful in your descent. Take your time, make sure your footing is secure, because I have it from good authority that there's a lot of people have broken their legs, damaged their knees and all sorts up there. So just take your time, be careful.
Fireman Sam. Any spare time, Fireman Sam's actually a mountain rescue as well.
Yeah.
That's why. He would know. What's with this? Okay. I've got it.
I find that quite funny, that gate actually, because how can you, there's no sheep down here to go through the gate, it's only people. So over to your left, you could go down to the right, but that'll take you onto the main road. If you come over to the left here, there's a bridge, takes you right over into Luss, and it just crosses over the main road.
No trolls under that one either.
Aye, no trolls on that one, thou shalt pass.
Thou shalt pass.
Well, it can be a wee bit slippy here in winter, so
Yep.
Just be careful.
The Unicorn and I are quite familiar with slipping.
Very, yes. We went skating just last week.
Not
And the
literally.
reason that we went skating was because we have trainers on the ice, which is really not a very good idea. But always wear your boots or your shoes, walking shoes. And not
Thank
trainers.
goodness for boots. You know it's bad when the ice crackles under your feet as you take a step.
That's quite bad.
Look, Loch Lomond with a chew. It's actually Loch Lomond. Loch.
Like, you've got a hissing cat in your lap.
Yeah, that's what the sound is that we use for that.
Please don't say loch, it really annoys locals.
Anyway, you can see Loch Lomond through the trees there. And the rest of this goes into Loch Lomond. Sorry, the rest of this goes into Luss. And we are going to just stop the camera and hold on because it's quite icy down these steps. Again, it splits off into two. You can either go to the left, go down the steps, or go to the right and go down the big steps. They basically, yes, they go to the same place.
So just stand here and do eeny, meeny, miny, mo each time you pass by and you can decide what you want to do.
Or you can toss a coin, take your pick.
Yeah.
In fact, you could toss a coin and do eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and if you can't make your mind up, you've got problems.
Yeah.